You could not live with your own failure. Where did that bring you? Back to me.
Earnescorrect.
Assemble.
Greetings YouTube, welcome back to the MetaNerd channel. I am Marcus, bringing you another video for Cardfight Vanguard Overdress. In this video, of course, is going to be the last deck archetype for Lyrical Monasterio, which is the Dragon Lady herself, Clarissa. Of course, Clarissa, as her title suggests, is gonna have the old days Narukami Brawler playstyle. You will focus on attacking multiple targets on the board, so meaning that if the opponent has a lot of rear guards, then this unit will be attacking those units on the field, and also activate some of the on-hit skills that Clarissa or other units in this deck has. However, in order for them to attack multiple units, Clarissa will be reliant on a very specific order card. What this also means is that the consistency will kind of drop because you can only get that one specific order card once per game. So if you don't draw into it, or for some reason it keeps going into the damage zone, then Clarissa's consistency will go down very, very quickly. The deck also features a very less susceptible to retiring decks because most of their stuff has a cost to return to hand. So they are less likely to have their key components retired, except of course the order card, since they have no way of fetching out the order card or recycle from the drop zone. Clarissa, of course, is also featuring the Earnescorrect archetype name. The Earnescorrect as an overall is less aggressive in the early phase than other Lyrical Monasterio because of some certain skills. Of course, you are still able to put on some aggression with Clarissa, but then there are some skills that actually prevent you from actually putting on aggression, but then that is only on the Vanguard. Also, Dragon Lady themes. If that is your thing, go ahead. First off, we have the Stutter, Dignified Will Clarissa. Of course, Stutter. But then before I skip this, I just want to take a moment to appreciate the art. The art on this Stutter is the best among all five. Don't you think? Next, of course, we have the Great One Clarissa, Serious Challenger Clarissa. Auto, when this unit is placed on Vanguard Circle by writing on Dignified Will Clarissa, the Great Zero, look at the 7 cards from the top of your deck, choose up to 1 Great One or less with Earnescorrect in its card name from among them, reveal it and put it into your hand, shuffle the rest and put them on the bottom of your deck. Second skill, Continuous Vanguard Circle. During your turn, if you do not have any rear guards, this unit gets 5k power. Of course, this is your right target. You only need one piece because there is, like I said, there's an archetype name here, which is Earnescorrect, which this Great One does not have that name. So you only need one piece and that's all. She fetches out 1 Great One or less Earnescorrect, which does helps you with your Great 3 turn. But then, of course, there are a lot of Great One Earnescorrect cards that is very, very helpful. And also, you could depends on the situation to take out which skill that benefits you the most. The timing of the shuffling for this card is actually once you check the top 7, you put 1 Great One Earnescorrect into your hand. You shuffle the rest of the 6 card without looking at them and put at the bottom of the deck. So the deck does not shuffle itself. You only shuffle the top 6 cards once you put 1 Great One into your hand. Do let me know if I'm wrong on this, but I think this is how it wants you to play. The second skill is actually what discourages you from putting on aggression because it's minus 5k. But then when you come to think of it, it does not really matter if you go first or second because you're still gonna hit your opponent Vanguard anyway, so does not really matter as much. Next, we have Grade 2 Clarissa, Accurate Interval Clarissa. Auto, when this unit is placed on Vanguard Circle by writing on Serious Challenger Clarissa, the Great One, Soul Blast 1, look at 7 cards from the top of your deck, choose up to 1 Grade 2 or less cards with Earnescorrect in its card name from among them, reveal it and put it into your hand, shuffle the rest and put them on the bottom of your deck. Continuous Vanguard Circle, during your turn, if you have no rear guards, this unit gets 5k power. Of course, gonna be your right target, never a doubt. So as opposed to the Great One Clarissa, this one will give you a Grade 2 instead of a Grade 1 or less. I mean, of course, you still could get a Grade 1 with this card, but it does open up an option for you to get a Grade 2 if you don't have it in your hand. Now, the timing of the shuffling is also the same thing as the Great One Clarissa. You only shuffle the 6 card in your hand, and then you put at the bottom of your deck. You don't shuffle your deck after you resolve the skill. So you only shuffle the 6 card without looking at them. Maybe I am wrong about this, but the way I understand from the skill is like that. Feel free to comment down to let me know if I'm right or wrong. Also, she has a similar skill as the grade 1, which does discourage you from putting on aggression, because since once you ride into grade 2, maybe you would want to call out something to actually put on the pressure a little bit. But then of course with this skill, you're actually hitting for 10k, but that does not really matter as much, except when your opponent wants to guard. Instead of them guarding a 15k for a no pass, with this skill, your opponent is guarding 15k for 1. Next up, we have the grade 3, finally an Earnescorrect leader, Clarissa. Auto, when this unit is placed on Vanguard Circle by riding from Accurate Interval Clarissa, Counterblast 1, search your deck for up to 1, aim to be the strongest idol, reveal it, and put it into your hand and shuffle your deck. Second skill, Auto, Vanguard Circle. When this unit attack hits, draw a card, choose one of your rear guards with Earnescorrect in its card name, and it gets power plus 5k until the end of turn. So of course, this is your main grade 3, and of course the order card, aim to be the strongest idol, is the one order card that you absolutely must have every single time during your turn. The first skill, of course, will only ever be used once in a game. The second skill, however, it gives you draw and power up, is really nice, of course, if you attack hit. But then once we get into the order card, that's a whole new different story. The second skill, of course, may seem simple, but of course, the order card changes everything. Next, of course, is the order card. Aim to be the strongest idol. Now, if this card does not tell you that Clarissa is the strongest out of all 5 Lyrical Monasterio deck, I don't know what to tell you. Play this if you have 5 or more units with Earnescorrect in their different card names. Until end of turn, all your units with Earnescorrect in their card name gets 5k power. If your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, choose one of your Earnescorrect leader, Clarissa, the grade 3, and it gets continuous Vanguard Circle. When this unit would attack, choose 3 of your opponent's Vanguard or rear guard, and this unit battles all of the units on the chosen circle. Lyrical Monasterio Brawlers. So yeah, this card does have a heavy requirement in order to play, because you need to have 5 or more Earnescorrect units. This, however, includes the Vanguard as well. So meaning that you will only need the grade 3 Clarissa and 4 other Earnescorrect, different Earnescorrect units. The full board of Earnescorrect plus 5k is quite insane. This means that each and every column will be plus 10, except for maybe one column, because you might not have the 6 Earnescorrect unit. But the full board plus 5k is just insane. And also, this order card technically makes Clarissa Leonard 2.0. And you guys say Leonard is busted. Yeah, welcome to Leonard 2.0. Also, something to note here is that the multiple attack skill bypasses resist units. So do keep in mind, please do not argue with the Clarissa's player where your resist unit cannot be targeted by this order. I hate to break it to you, it does bypasses resist unit. Next up, we have the triple R, which is Earnescorrect member Evelyn. Auto, when this unit is placed on Vanguard Circle from hand, if your Vanguard is Earnescorrect leader Clarissa, the grade 3, Counterblast 1, search your deck for up to 1 grade 2 or less card with Earnescorrect in its card name and reveal it. If you have no rear guard with the same card name as that card, call it to open rear guard, shuffle your deck. Now, this one, of course, superior calling another Earnescorrect unit with different card name is quite nice. And although this does requires you to think a little bit before you want to call, and also since he's not like checking the top to call a grade 2, you directly search for them, it's actually really nice. And I think this is one of the key components for Earnescorrect at the moment. You could just call her out without any rear guards to guarantee the superior call to open rear guard circle. So it also helps with the requirement for the order card. Next up, we have Earnescorrect supporter Riona. Auto rear guard circle. When your other rear guards with Earnescorrect in its card name is retired during your opponent's turn, if this unit is on rear guard circle, cost Soul Blast 1, discard a card from your hand and put that retired card into your hand. So of course, this card is the one where I said this whole Clarissa deck is less susceptible to retiring. It's because of this card. You're able to recycle your Earnescorrect units with a Soul Blast 1 as well as a discard. And as long as you have resources, she can be spammed, as long as she's on the field, that is. Also, one thing to note here is that her skill will go off if the opponent mass retire the board. For example, like a deck like Eugene, if he retires like 5 rear guards at the same time, her effect still goes off. So if you are a Eugene player, retire this card first unless there's 2 of them, then retire 2 of them first before you retire the rest. Next up, we have Earnescorrect member Catarin. Auto Rigor Circle. When the attack of Earnescorrect leader Clarissa on your Vanguard hits, cost Counterblast 1, discard a card from your hand and stand this unit. Yeah, so this card is your 4th attack enabler, or maybe a 5th. The restand, it's quite nice. The power up, and also do remember, is that if your grade 3 Clarissa attack hits, you can actually give the 5k power to this card. So this card is quite insane and will be attacking at the minimum a 20k by herself. Though this card is quite negligible because for each time Clarissa attack hits, no matter the Vanguard or Rearguard, she's gonna draw 1. So this card is kinda negligible. The skill will most likely always go off if the order is played, because the order is the one that actually allows Clarissa to hit multiple targets, unless of course your opponent does not have a Rearguard, which is highly unlikely. Next up, we have Earnescorrect supporter Trilby. Auto Rearguard Circle. When your Vanguard attack hits, this unit gets 5k power until the end of turn. So since your Vanguard is gonna hit for 3 units, if your opponent no guards the Vanguard, she will be plussing 15k power at the maximum, meaning that she will either be a 20k booster or a 20k attacker without any persona ride. She truly lifts up her name as a supporter. Lastly, I want to talk about this Blitz order because it's very important for the other deck archetype, even Clarissa. Unfortunately, I can't pronounce that name, something Fountain. If you have 3 or more rearguards, all attacked unit gets 15k power until the end of that battle. So what this means is that this Blitz order is actually the main card to counter Clarissa. Now, since Clarissa is able to attack multiple units by using this one card, and if you fulfill the 3 rearguards, you're able to plus 15k power to 3 units, which will make guarding extremely easy against Clarissa. So your Vanguard will plus 15k, your 2 rearguards will plus 15k, so it's just value after value for this Blitz order. Sadly, only Lyrical Monasterio decks can have this, and for the other 5 nations, we're basically screwed against Clarissa. And that is all for this video. Do let me know down in the comment section on what do you think of the Dragon Lady. Do like and subscribe if you like this video. Also, do remember to ring the bell notification icon so that you don't miss a video I upload. With that being said, I'll see you all on the field.